All right, we've got our boat put in the water and we're getting ready to start it for the first time. First thing you want to do is be able to supply the engine with fuel, and it is equipped with a primer bulb. There's an arrow on the primer bulb indicating the fuel flow direction. It's easier if you point that arrow in the up direction, squeeze the primer bulb to supply the engine with fuel, and you squeeze it until it gets hard. We've now supplied the engine with fuel and we're ready to move forward to start. First thing you want to do is be sure that your emergency kill switch lanyard is installed, and then also attached to you for safety purposes. In the event that you get tossed away from the helm, it'll shut the boat down. We want to use the warm-up lever to give the engine a little bit of throttle, and we want to be sure that that's giving it throttle in neutral. This control uses a button to allow you to advance the throttle in neutral. Some control boxes you have to pull the lever out to advance it. Some of them have an individual warm-up lever. It's important that you acquaint yourself with the particular control in your boat. Now that you've got the kill switch lanyard attached, you want to be sure that there's nobody or nothing around your engine, so that when you start, you're not going to injure anybody in case it should accidentally start in gear. You now turn the key switch to the on position. This is one of the newer engines equipped with electronic fuel injection, so you would wait a few seconds for the engine to prime itself, turn the key, and start. And I think we're ready to go boating.
This is a common problem, believe it or not. Most boats nowadays are installed with a neutral safety switch, and what that does is it prevents a boat from starting in gear. It's usually brand new boat owners. They've knocked the throttle in gear, or they've turned it off in gear, and they don't realize that when they go to turn the key, nothing will happen. If the throttle's in gear, the neutral safety switch is activated, and it won't allow the engine to start. So I'll get calls, and they think that there's something major with their boat, or some type of electrical problem, and it's just simply that the throttle's in gear.
On a new outboard, it depends a lot on the outboard itself. There's a lot of new technology in the two-stroke industry, the two-stroke field that gives a high-pressure direct injection so that an outboard can meet new EPA standards that are in place as of 2006. There's also four-stroke engines. Depends on the motor itself. There's still some carbureted two-stroke motors available. Those have a little different break-in than, say, a fuel-injected two-stroke or even a high-pressure direct injection two-stroke. Those are going to basically be, with a carbureted motor, you're going to do a double oil. In other words, you're going to put a little extra oil in the gas, whether the engine is an oil-injected engine or whether it's truly a mix engine. That's just to give a little extra oiling during the break-in period, which usually lasts either 5 to 10 hours. Four-stroke motors are basically like your car engine. There's really not a whole lot of break-in to do to them. The only thing you want to do with a four-stroke engine is just vary your RPMs for the first 5 hours. What you're trying to do is get the rings on the piston to seat so that you'll get good oiling and no blow-by, that sort of thing. With two-stroke engines, again, it's still a 5 to 10 hour deal, varying the RPM. Some two-strokes don't want you to get above 3,500 RPM for the first 5 hours. Some you can go above that, just don't hold it at a steady RPM.